All right, YouTube community. It's been a hot second, but I think we got some books to be showing off here. So let's get this video started. What's good, YouTube comic book community? It is your boy, Mr. D, back finally with a little bit of a haul. I got a few books, small stack of books I picked up lately. You see right here. We're going to bust through these right quick. I'm going to show you what I picked up, and then we're going to get into that big stack of CGC books that I showed. So, starting right into it, I picked up Mirka Andolfa Image Comics, Sweet Paprika. So I picked up the Art Germ cover, picked up the Virgin Art Germ cover, and then I picked up the Not Safe for Work Mirka Andolfa cover. I'm going to keep the cover on it because we're going to be getting any YouTube strikes for some boobies on that. Then off of eBay, I picked this up. This is by Ali Garza. This is the Fly number 4. Just a really cool cover by Ali Garza. Picked this up on eBay for like $3. From Zenoscope, I picked up the Elias Chizuta's 2001 classic fairy tale collectible cover. This is number 1 of 5. Nice jasmine cover. Me and my son play Fortnite, so you know I had to pick up that Batman Fortnite 0 point. This is number 1, still sealed with the code. This is number 2. This is the Art Adams variant. Number 3 is a dope Jim Lee Batman vs. Snake Eyes cover. Awesome cover. I got number 4, number 5, and number 6 at the LCS. I just haven't picked them up yet. I also picked up Batman 106. This is the first, or I should say this is probably the cameo of Miracle Molly. I also picked up Batman 107. This has a whole bunch of first appearances. Madame Midas, the Instigator, Razorline, Kid Kawaii, Brainstorm, and the Gardener. So Batman 107, and it's the first Scarecrow new costume. I also picked up this Patrick Gleason Black Panther. I'm pretty sure everyone picked this up. I also picked up this variant. I forgot who the artist is that did this, but this is X-Men number 20. Just kind of a cool Mystique variant. This book was hot, so I picked this up. Nice House on the Lake, book 1. I also have the one where she's swimming in the pool. That's actually in my stack of books over there that I'm waiting to send out to CGC. This series has some heat on it. I was able to snag up a copy of Stray Dogs 1 before this got all crazy. Happy to pick this up. And then I got on this Something is Killing the Children, number 1. This is the 8th print. I got this for a really cheap price now. I think this book's gone back down because the market got flooded. I also picked up Something is Killing the Children, number 16. This is the Yi Hung Lee variant. I picked these up from his website. I got the regular, and then it also the foil version of this. So I picked those up from Yi Hung Lee's store. This book I picked up, this is Starfire number 6. This is the Looney Tunes variant. Pepe Le Pew got blackballed on Space Jam. So this book did go up a little bit in price. It's probably come back down, but I found this at my LCS for pretty cheap. Pretty happy to snag that up. And then I also got Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever. This is the Spring Break from Stadium Comics. This was limited to 250 copies. So I got that. So as you can see, I haven't picked up too much lately because, as you saw from the beginning of the video, the stack of CGC books and you saw my press. So that is what I've been focusing on, is pressing my collection of books that I currently have and getting them submitted to CGC. So on that note, we're going to jump right into looking at all these books. All right, I just had to get set up here. First up, Extraordinary X-Men #1. Beautiful J. Scott Campbell. I did press this book. Picked this up a while ago on eBay. And after a press, beautiful 9/8. Just going to keep these right out of the plastic bags, because when I'm done with this video, they are going to be getting put into the Mylar CGC bags and then put into my long boxes. Next up, this is Harley Thin. This is a Halloween special. This was limited to 25 copies, which you can see down there. And this is by Nathan Zerdy. And it was done for Azure Comics, Counterpoint there. It's a really cool cover. Didn't press this. This one came as is, straight to CGC, 9/8. Not too many copies of that available. Next up, we got another one. This one might get me. This one might get me docked here. This is Patriotica United #1. This was done for Mount Olympus Comics by Mike D'Abalfo, and it was limited to 60 copies. This is his Little Mermaid one, and obviously I'm covering up stuff that might get me a strike on YouTube here, so I'm not going to show that. You can use your imagination, but boom, 9/8, very happy. This next book is Hard to Find J. Scott Campbell. I found this at a comic store. Found this for, I think, I want to say like $10. This is My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, #3. This is the retail exclusive J. Scott Campbell. I think there's like 25 of these on the CGC census. I did press this book, and 9/8. Next up, we have Oz. Grimm Fairy Tales presents Oz. This was a book that I picked up off eBay a couple years ago. Paid like 25, maybe $30 for this. This is some very early art germ. Beautiful cover. This one also did get pressed, and again, another 9/8. Very happy with that. This next book I showed in my last haul, but I was able to find a second copy of it. This is Agents of Atlas, #1. This is the second print, Virgin variant. I picked this second copy up off of eBay, just like my first copy. I did not press this book. It didn't have to get pressed, so this one went right to CGC, and it got a 9/8. So happy to have 2 copies of that. Might end up selling one of them. Might get one listed here. Might hang on to both, see what happens. Next up is Vengeance, #1, first appearance of America Chavez. This book I picked up at another LCS locally. Paid $5 for this book a couple years ago. I did press this book. It did have a pretty bad bend right up here in the corner. I was not able to get that out 100%, so this book graded me 9/6. Still happy with that. Would have graded probably a little bit less if I wouldn't have pressed it, so happy to have this in 9/6. I'd love to get my hands on the variant, but that is probably a little out of my price range right now. Gonna have to sell some more things if I want to play around with that book. Next up, Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever. This is the same spring break. This was from a Comic-Con. I want to say it was like the Virginia Comic-Con exclusive. And I want to say this is limited to, like 250 copies. As you can see right there. 250 copies. Beautiful Dan Parent, kind of one of those negative style covers. Picked this up off of eBay, pressed it, 9/6. I was a little disappointed. There was some creases. You're not going to be able to see them. But there was some creases right over here that I was not able to press out. So I'm happy with the 9.6. I'll keep it, but this book, I'll hang on to it for a little bit, and I might end up flipping that on eBay. So we'll see what I do with that. Next up, we have Marvel number 6, the Liber Miho. This is an amazing Silver Surfer cover. I love this book. I think this was a 1 in 25, maybe a 1 in 50. This came out a couple months ago. Obviously, CGC has super long lead times, so I finally got it back. Pre-ordered this. Didn't press it. Came back in 9/8. Happy with that. It's another book I might hang on to, or I might list it. I'm not 100% sure yet. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 4, first appearance of Cindy Moon, who later becomes Silk. Picked this up from my LCS a couple years ago, paid $10 for this. This book did need a good pressing. Happy that I did, because I ended up getting 9/8 on this. So very, very happy to have Cindy Moon first appearance in a 9/8. Next up is Thanos number 13, the Albuquerque variant. This was a big boy. I did snag this up from an LCS. This was a 1 in 25. I paid 25 bucks for it. I knew that this did have a color rub and a little bit of a spine tick on the back. Maybe I did press this. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember if I did or not. But I knew that this was not going to be a 9/8. I was actually thinking, because of the color rub and the spine tick, that I'd be happy if this got a 9/4. Much to my surprise, it came in a 9/6. Happy, beautiful cover. Probably one of my favorite Thanos covers of all time. I don't think I'm going to be moving this book out of the PC anytime soon. So Thanos 13, first appearance of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Next up, this is a book that I was watching Triple C. He was doing a haul video, and I believe his wife bought this book for him for a birthday gift, or maybe as a Christmas gift. So I had never seen this book. I didn't even know it existed until I saw it on Triple C. So big shout out to him. This is Forgive Me, Father, number 2. This is a beautiful Jeff DeCall variant. Apparently a very hard book to come across. After I saw Triple C show this on his YouTube channel, I did look on eBay. I bought this book for $10. I did give it a quick press real quick, and then sent it in, and 9/8. Absolutely gorgeous. Jeff DeCall variant here. So good luck hunting this down. I know the Mighty Mel V was talking about this book as well, so I think he had a copy that he might have sold on his Whatnot auction. I think he's telling me he sold it for like $300 or something. So happy to have that. Next up is Catwoman number 4, Art Germ variant. I picked this up from a local guy that does online Facebook auctions. I got copies of this. I think I got 2 copies of this already, but he had this one, obviously yellow label, autographed right there. And I just wanted this graded, and the fact that it was yellow label, 9/8. So happy to add this to the collection. And then I pre-ordered 2 copies of this when they announced this. I already sold 1 copy off. This is Demon Days X-Men number 1. This is from the Comic Mint. This is a Peach Momoka Virgin variant, graded in a 9/8 with her signature and a remark. You can see the remark right there. The signature is great. The remark definitely leaves something to be desired. I was really excited, since this was like the first opportunity to get a signature and a remark from Rose Bosch. And I think I said Peach Momoka, didn't I? That's because the Stranger Academy. But yeah, this is Rose Bosch. So I was really excited when they did this to get her autograph and a remark graded. on a virgin, but the remark really turned out really kind of, that's the best that you could do for how much I paid for this. I think it was like $175. So both remarks were the exact same too. I guess it's kind of cool because this was limited to 800 copies. So I did sell, like I said, I got 2 of these. I already sold my other copy on eBay. I sold it for like $225. So whatever, I made $50 on the one copy, and then I kept this copy for myself. So really great Rose Bosch cover, great autograph, disappointed remark, but this will be a PC book that I'll hang on to for a while, and we'll see what happens down the road with it. Now this is a book you guys don't know about, and this is something that not a lot of people are going to get an opportunity to have. This is Naughty and Nice number 10. The same guy I was just telling you I got the Art Germ book from, he that does the Facebook, he also is doing Playboy, like famous covers of Playboy homage, and he has all sorts of different artists. I know this upcoming month he has Elias Chichudez, and then he's had, let's see, who else does he have coming up? He's got Mike DeBelfo coming up. He had Dean Yeagle for the first one. So he's doing the Playboy cover homages, keeping them all clean and classy. So this cover is done by Dean Yeagle. And I talked to him, and I was able to not only get a Dean Yeagle autograph, but a Dean Yeagle remark. Now, if you guys know who Dean Yeagle is, he's not exactly a spring chicken. I don't know if he's doing Comic-Cons or anything like that, but to have an exclusive cover that is limited to 15 copies. So there's only 15 of these that he had made. So not only is it a rare book that you're not going to find, it's done by an artist that probably you're going to have a tough time getting his signature and a remark. Yellow label, 9/8. Very, very happy to have this. The remark is absolutely terrible. It was funny because he was telling me when he was talking to Dean Yeagle that he just doesn't do remarks and didn't even really know how to do a remark. So that should tell you a little bit about the rarity of Dean Yeagle remarks on comic books. You're not going to come across them very often. So to have that, I'm very excited. So back to some books I sent into CGC. Those last couple were ones that I bought. This book I picked up, I want to say I paid like $75 for this. Kind of close to when it came out, right before it got super, super hot. This is Dr. Aphra, number 6, Jen Bartel. This book I knew was not going to come back a 9/8. It does have a minor color rub on the back cover. Still really happy to pick this up though, and it came back in a beautiful 9/6, Dr. Aphra. So very happy to have this Jen Bartel and be adding that to my collection. These books you can tell I've had for a while because they've already been put into the Mylar bags. Next up, man, this is a rare one too. This is Morbius, the Living Vampire, number 3. What is this? The Tom Corker? Yeah, Tom Corker. Variant. I think this is a 1 in 50, might be a 1 in 75. I picked this up off eBay. I want to say I picked up this for like 200. I did press this book. It did have a pretty significant spine tick right here, right in the red, so it just really stood out. It does break color a little bit, so I knew this wouldn't come back a 9/8. I was thinking this would probably be a 9/2, maybe a 9/4. Before pressing, after pressing, I was really hoping that I'd get at least a 9/6, and I was able to get a 9/6 on this. So very, very hard to come across variant. Very happy to have this in my collection. I actually had this on my wish list, and at one point I did take it off, but when I saw it on eBay for that price, I had to snag it. So next book up is Giant Size Chillers. This is The Curse of Dracula. This is the only number 1, this is the only issue that they released of this. and this is the first appearance of Lilith, which is Dracula's daughter. This was a little bit of a speculation pickup that I got this book, thinking that with Blade coming out, if they eventually go, it's going to be a trilogy. At some point, you know, Dracula might not be the first villain in the movie. It might lead up to Dracula down the road. I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't include Lilith in some capacity in the movie. So I took a swing at this. I want to say I paid like $1.25 for this. I'm gonna pick this up for $1.25. Might have been $100. I don't remember. It's been a while. Beautiful 9.0 for this older book. I was happy with this. Would I like a higher grade? Yeah, of course. But with these older books, I'm happy with it. And again, for what I paid for this, if Lilith appears in the MCU because of Dracula in the Blade movies, I'm sure that book is going to go up in a hurry. And with today's market, I'm going to be pretty happy with that purchase. Next up, beautiful Spider-Gwen. This is a store exclusive from Rupp Comics. I've showed this book before in my haul videos when I picked up this book. I just love the color scheme of this. J. Scott Campbell with the neon pink and the aqua. Just beautifully done. I did give this a real light press. Didn't need much. It was already in good condition. I expected this to come back in a 9.8, and it's exactly what it is. Come back in a 9.8. So happy to have this graded now instead of just hanging out raw in my boxes. Next up is Star Wars High Republic #1. This is the Stephanie Hans. This book got hot for a second. I was able to get a copy of this from my LCS. I picked this up for cover. I also picked up a second copy of it for $10. So I do have a raw copy of this still. I did send this one in. No need for pressing on this book. I expected this to come back in a 9.8, and it did. So happy to add this. This was the first appearance of 1, 2, 3, 4, apparently 5 different characters. So as we all know with Star Wars, you never know what direction it's going to go into. So this is probably more of a long-term hold that I'll hang on to for a while. Beautiful Stephanie Hans. Happy to have that. Hey, look at this. Another War of Realms, Atlas, #1, second print, Virgin. Could have sworn I just showed one of these. So this is my other copy that I got. Picked this one off of eBay as well. I want to say one of the copies I paid like $60 for, and this copy I paid like $30 for. So I was happy to both get these for pretty decent prices. Another one that probably got a quick press and a 9.8. The thing that really pisses me off about this book, and I don't know if it's going to show, but this is your high quality from CGC. If I didn't have it in the Mylar bag, you could probably see it a little bit better. But right there, you're probably thinking, is that a hair in the slab? Yeah, that's a hair in the slab from CGC. So, I don't know, YouTube comic book community, tell me if I'd be doing someone dirty if I were to list this one on eBay, since I got my second copy also in a 9.8. You think it'd be shiesty of me to list this one on eBay? You know, I would take a picture of the hair because I don't want any returns coming back, but just really kind of irritates me. That's got a hair in there. If you don't look for it, you probably wouldn't notice it, but now that I know that it's there, every time I look at that book, I'm going to look at that. Next up, Champions #1, Mark Brooks. This was a retail incentive. I want to say this was a 1 in 50. Shout out to Ultra Maximus on It's Drunken Chat Son and the Mighty Mel V. They were talking about this one time on their show. So I was able to hunt down a copy of this. I don't remember what I paid for this. I want to say like around 70. So heard them talk about this, hunted a copy of this down on eBay, snagged it up real quick. Amazingly enough, this book came from the UK, came here to the States, good condition. I did give this book a light press. After I was done, because the back cover is kind of like that off yellowish, I was a little concerned that it might not come back a 9/8, even though it came back after I pressed it and everything. I was worried about the color on the back. Apparently CGC wasn't. Came back in a 9/8. Happy to have this. This is the first time that you have, you got Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, Sam Alexander Nova, Cyclops, Viv Vision, and Amadeus Cho Hulk all form the champions on this. So this might have some legs down the road. And not to mention, it's just a beautiful Mark Brooks, hard to come across variant. So very happy to have this in a 9/8. And again, big shout out to Ultra Maximus and the whole It's Drunken Chat Son crew for dropping some knowledge on your Friday evenings. Next up, we have Future First Flight Luna Snow #1. This was a 1 in 25. I picked this up from Midtown for 25 bucks. It's not a Yi Hung Lee. I don't remember who did the cover. It says that's a Cho variant, so I don't remember the first name of the artist. I really liked it, so I bought this cover strictly because I like the cover, and it was a 1 in 25. Down the road, if Luna Snow has any legs, this book might become something. So I'm going to hang on to it for a hot second. I'll keep it with my Agents of Atlas. So if she does have any legs, this might be a book to chase after. And again, it was a cheap buy-in for 25 bucks. Looks good in a CGC label because the color scheme. I did press this book and it came back in a 9/8. You guys all know how Midtown ships books. It did have a few little imperfections in it, but nothing that a good old humidity and press doesn't take care of. Next up, this book is hard to come across, and this one was a little bit pricey. I paid $1.25 for this. Grimm Fairy Tales #32, retail exclusive, limited to 500 copies. I always thought that this was a J. Scott Campbell cover. It's not. It's a Talent Caldwell cover, and it is a gorgeous Pinocchio, I guess is what you'd say. You can see the boys hanging out in the background. I did show this off in a haul video when I got it, back when it was raw. This book did have some issues on the back cover, some real minor spine ticks, but again, put a little steam to it and throw it in the press for a couple hours, and it came back in a 9/8. Really happy. This is one of the ones that has a very low run on CGC. When I say it's under 30 copies that are graded, so it's just one of those ones that you're not going to come across very often. Next up, Naughty But Nice. This is another Halloween special. This one is by Elias Chazudez. This was a Comic Connection variant that he did. There was a naughty version of this. I wanted to keep this one clean just because it had the Daphne and Velma from Scooby-Doo. This is limited to 125 copies, which you can see right down there. Just really a cool Halloween cover. Wanted to add it to my collection, and because of the colors on it, I really wanted to throw it in a CGC label because I thought it'd really make everything pop and pull everything together. I did not press this book before I sent it, and it came back in a 9/8, which is what I expected. So just a really cool Scooby-Doo Halloween. And it's clean with enough suggestiveness to it. Next up, I think everyone in the world at this point should have a graded copy of at least some sort of variant of this. Something That's Killing the Children #1. I picked up the Jenny Friesen FOC. I also have the 1 in 10 Jaylee. Is that a 1 in 10 or is that a 1 in 15? It's the one with the orange cover, Jaylee. So I have that. Picked this up when this book came out, so I did not overpay for it. Didn't really want to send this to CGC just because I think the market is just oversaturated right now with Something That's Killing the Children stuff, and there's a gazillion copies of this already out there. But then it got optioned, so I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to send at least one copy into CGC just so I have a graded copy. Not that, you know, if you wanted to find a copy, they're out there. They're easy enough. So I did have this sitting around in long boxes for a while along with the other one. Sent this in 9/8. So happy to have it. Still a really dope Jenny Frison cover, but at this point I'm kind of sick of seeing these everywhere. So the excitement's kind of off for me. Maybe I should have sent it in to get graded a lot longer, you know, beforehand, but whatever, it is what it is. This next one I kind of had the same feelings for, that I've seen this enough times and there's enough graded copies out there. But this is a book that I've had for a while. This is Red Sonja, Birth of the She-Devil. This is a Kunkka variant. It was done by Paper Asylum. I don't remember what the print run on this, if it was like 500 or whatever it was. Just a really gorgeous Red Sonja cover, but again, I've seen this so many times now. Not really all that excited. Plus, I've had this for so long in a top loader. I didn't press this book just because, again, I had it in the top loader, so I knew this was in good condition. Sent it in, expecting a 9/8, and 9/8, there it is. So just happy to have this protected, much like this Something Is Killing the Children. You know, just two books I enjoy. They're going to be PC books. Might as well send them in, right, and get it done. These next two books. These next two books are something else. These were big ones for me to get off my list. And if you're going to hunt these down, you're going to be pulling out your wallet on these. This next book is limited to 77 copies. There's 3 different versions of it. There's a color version, a black and white version, and then a Healy foil version of it. Personally, I like the black and white, which they call the Noir. This is Lady Death, Nightmare Symphony, #1. This is the Legend Series Art Germ. Again, limited to 77 copies. Just an absolutely killer cover by Art Germ. The color version is great. The colors really pop on it. I preferred the black and white. I think it's probably something to do Lady Death. Okay, so black symbolizes death. Lady Death is a real pale figure. I just really like the Noir. So that's what I rolled with, is I picked up a copy of this on eBay, rolled the dice, was super nervous. When this book came, I opened up that box as fast as I could. Man, this thing came beautifully packed. Immaculate condition. It was on a top loader. Left it in the top loader in Mylar for the longest time. Was so anxious to get this off to CGC and get it back. And I was like, man, if this does not come back in 9/8, I'm going to be devastated. Luckily enough for me, came back in a 9/8. Again, this is a really ghost of a book. They are on eBay. These are fetching graded copies, autographed by Brian Paluto. They're going to fetch over $1,000. If you got this autographed by Art Germ, you're looking at about 12 that people are going to try getting for this book. I paid significantly less, probably half of that, again, because this is not autographed and it wasn't graded. So a raw copy is still going to set you back a pretty penny. And as soon as these like kind of dry up and settle into people's collections, obviously Lady Death is a very niche group of collectors. But the fact that Art Germ, I think, has a little bit more of a broader reach, I think are going to have some long-term hold potential on these for the Lady Death fans and for the Art Germ fans, completists. So this book was not going to be leaving my collection anytime soon. Super, super happy to have hunted down a copy of this and to get it for less, significantly less than $1,000. I want to say I paid over $5, but less than $6.50. I want to say it's like $5.75, maybe around $6 for this. So this was not a cheap pickup, but now it's graded. I'm happy with it, and I think I should be able to get a good return on my investment down the road based on the Lady Death and Art Germ. Then this last book, boy, I think I got really lucky with this one. My friend that has picked me up books that I've shown many times picked this book up when it came out. He picked it up from the LCS, and then he sent it in to go get graded. And it came back a 9.8. And this was sitting in his collection for a long time. But this was a book that he was just ready to move on from. He was slimming down what he had in his collection. He was going to list this on eBay. I told him he should, because I wasn't going to pay what he could make off eBay on this. He was all right with what I initially had offered to pay him for this book, which I was amazed. But this book was on my list. I never thought I would own this book just because the prices on it got ridiculous. It's cooled off maybe a little bit. This is Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1. This is the Yi Hung Lee variant of this. Just a beautifully done cover. Everyone was chasing this. Super hard book to come across. Plenty of copies if you got the money to spend. I wasn't going to spend that type of money on this book, so I'm really happy with the deal that I got on this. And it's graded in a beautiful 9.8. So, yeah, these two books right here were two big boys to come off the wish list. I really could not be happier. Deep breath to get these two big high dollar variants off my wish list. So in conclusion, now that my wish list on modern variants is pretty much complete, there's a few other things I'm going to chase. Now I can start focusing on some of the older books that I want. And now that I'm ready to do that, of course, the market gets all crazy and everyone's going nuts with all these prices on these books. And a lot of stuff is currently priced out of my league. Unless I start selling some more stuff. And I don't know how ready I am to sell some stuff, seeing how I'm just getting my hands on some of it, and now that I'm able to actually send some of my collection in to get graded. I'm just not ready to move that stuff yet. There'll be some stuff that I'll probably, list at some point in the near future, but for right now, I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy my collection. I've worked really hard to get what I've had. I'm just going to keep pressing these books, sending them into CGC so I can sit back and enjoy them, and we'll see what this market does and how things wash up as we go through phase 4 of the MCU and phase into phase 5 and see where everything kind of lands. And then the market will crash and all these high dollar books will be worth jack shit, and I'll be sitting here wondering what to do next. So, hey guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys for watching, if you actually sat through the whole 30 minutes of this. And I do have some books. I have another 8 books at CGC. Got another 8 books over there that are pressed, waiting to get packaged to go to CGC. Not too much pre-ordered stuff, so I probably won't have much on my next haul. And the next time I do a CGC video will probably be in like another 4 to 6 months based on CGC turnaround times, which is kind of disappointing, but maybe they'll be able to get things shored up as they get more employees trained and whatnot. So that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Be safe. Take it easy. Collect what you love.